Hello everyone, and welcome back to TechBlog 66. Today, we are stepping into the stylish, suspense-filled world of early 1970s British television cinema. The movie we are discussing today is Madame Sin, released in 1972. This is a film that blends espionage, psychological drama, and Cold War-era tension, all wrapped in a very distinctive 1970s atmosphere. While it may not be as widely remembered as some big spy franchises, Madame Sin remains an interesting and underrated piece of television history. Madame Sin was originally produced as a made-for-television movie, but it carries the look and ambition of a theatrical release. Directed by David Greene, the film stars Bette Davis, Robert Wagner, and Denholm Elliott, a combination that immediately signals strong performances and character-driven storytelling. Rather than focusing on constant action, this movie chooses to explore manipulation, identity, and psychological control within the framework of espionage. At the center of the story is Madame Sin, portrayed by the legendary Bette Davis. She is a mysterious and powerful woman who runs an elite private school in Switzerland. On the surface, the school appears respectable and refined, but beneath that polished exterior lies something far more dangerous. Madame Sin is not just an educator. She is a master manipulator, training her students to become tools in a secret and highly controlled operation. The story begins by introducing us to Anthony Lawrence, played by Robert Wagner. He is a former British intelligence agent who has stepped away from the dangerous world of espionage. Lawrence is intelligent, experienced, and cautious, but he is also emotionally vulnerable. This vulnerability becomes the doorway through which Madame Sin enters his life. Using charm, mystery, and psychological pressure, she draws him into a situation that slowly tightens around him like a trap. One of the strongest aspects of Madame Sin is how it builds tension through atmosphere rather than speed. The movie does not rush. Instead, it carefully layers information, allowing the viewer to sense that something is not quite right long before the full truth is revealed. This slow-burn approach may feel unusual to modern audiences, but it fits perfectly with the psychological themes the film explores. Bette Davis delivers a commanding performance as Madame Sin. Her character is cold, elegant, and unsettling. She does not rely on physical force. Instead, she controls people through intellect, emotional insight, and calculated manipulation. Davis brings an almost theatrical presence to the role, which works beautifully in this context. Every word she speaks feels deliberate, and every expression suggests that she is always several steps ahead of everyone else. Robert Wagner's performance provides a strong counterbalance. His character represents reason and experience, yet he is constantly being pushed off balance by circumstances beyond his control. Wagner plays this internal conflict convincingly, showing a man who is skilled but slowly realizing that skill alone may not be enough to escape the situation he has entered. Denholm Elliott appears in a supporting role that adds depth to the narrative. His character brings a sense of realism and emotional grounding to the story. Elliott was known for his ability to make even small roles feel meaningful, and his presence here strengthens the overall cast. Visually, Madame Sin is very much a product of its time. The film features elegant interiors, muted color palettes, and carefully composed shots that emphasize isolation and control. The Swiss setting adds an extra layer of cold beauty, reinforcing the emotional distance between characters. The cinematography may seem restrained by today's standards, but it effectively serves the story's mood and tone. The film's pacing is deliberate, and this is something viewers should be aware of. If you are expecting fast-paced action or frequent plot twists, this movie may feel slow. However, if you appreciate character-driven suspense and psychological intrigue, Madame Sin offers a rewarding experience. The tension comes not from explosions or chases, but from conversations, glances, and the gradual uncovering of hidden motives. Another interesting element of the movie is its exploration of power. Madame Sin does not operate from a position of physical dominance. Her power comes from understanding people and knowing how to influence their decisions. The film raises questions about free will, trust, and how easily individuals can be guided into actions they might otherwise resist. These themes feel surprisingly relevant even today. The screenplay is smart and restrained. It avoids unnecessary exposition and allows the audience to piece together information as the story unfolds. This approach demands attention, but it also rewards careful viewing. The dialogue is sharp, often carrying double meanings that become clearer as the plot develops. Music and sound design in Madame Sin are used sparingly. Rather than overwhelming the viewer, the score subtly supports the tension and emotional beats of the story. Silence is often just as important as sound, creating moments of unease and anticipation. From a historical perspective, Madame Sin reflects the Cold War anxieties of its era. Espionage stories during this time often focused on hidden threats, psychological warfare, and the idea that danger could exist behind polite smiles and respectable institutions. This film fits squarely within that tradition, while also offering a unique perspective through its female antagonist. It is also worth noting how rare it was at the time to see a woman portrayed as the central controlling force in an espionage narrative. Madame Sin is not a side character or a romantic interest. She is the driving force of the story, and her intelligence and authority challenge traditional genre expectations. While the film may not appeal to everyone, especially viewers accustomed to modern pacing, it holds significant value for fans of classic thrillers, spy dramas, and strong performances. It is a film that encourages patience and attention, offering its rewards gradually rather than immediately. In conclusion, Madame Sin from 1972 is a thoughtful and atmospheric spy thriller that stands out due to its psychological focus and powerful central performance. Bette Davis delivers a memorable portrayal of a woman who controls through intellect rather than force, while Robert Wagner provides a grounded and relatable counterpoint. The film's slow pacing, elegant visuals, and intelligent script make it a worthwhile watch for fans of classic cinema and understated suspense. If you enjoy films that prioritize mood, character, and psychological tension over constant action, Madame Sin is definitely worth your time. It may not be a mainstream classic, but it is a fascinating example of 1970s television filmmaking that still holds relevance today. Thank you for watching this review on TechBlog 66. If you enjoyed this deep dive into classic cinema, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more movie reviews and hidden gems from film history. This movie is available on YouTube free. -5